last video. I told you that the Facebook machine is on standby to eliminate any advertiser that threatens the Facebook audience. And if you display characteristics that are similar to that of a high-risk advertiser, you will be eliminated. Unfortunately, that is exactly what a lot of advertisers do. They act like high-risk advertisers because they don't know better or because they just won't follow simple instructions. The overall message is that Facebook wants you to operate or at least look like a normal business. The problem is that majority of advertisers set up their advertising accounts and their adverts to make them look like unserious businesses who are there to manipulate the Facebook users. From what I shared in day 7 video 1, you should know by now that Facebook does not joke with their users. A normal business has a logo. It has professional looking landing pages, and it has an active Facebook page with content and fans. That is exactly what Facebook wants you to look like. So if you want to avoid the Facebook hammer, the two major things you have to do are: number 1, don't run your ads account like a scammer or an unserious person. Then number 2, train the Facebook engine, the Facebook algorithm, to see you as a reliable advertiser and not a high-risk advertiser. In order for you to do these two things I just mentioned, you have to understand the reasons why Facebook might shut down your ad account. Apart from disobeying their advert policies, Facebook can actually shut down your account because of other reasons that they usually do not disclose to people. I was able to discover some of these reasons myself, and I learned about them also from super affiliates who pay some Facebook staff to give them high quality information. I'm going to list these reasons, then I'm going to explain each one. The first reason is moving too fast. The second one is scaling too fast. Third one is not warming up your account. The fourth one is domains. The fifth one is about payment threshold. The sixth one is about mass using images, copy, and landing pages. The seventh one is about fan page quality. The eighth one is about multiple domains in one advert account. The ninth one is about your terms and your private policy on your page. And the 10th one is about negative feedback. The 11th is about your IP or your profile. And the 12th is links back to a closed account. So let me explain all those reasons one after the other and what you can do to avoid them. Let's start with moving too fast. Moving too fast is something that affects new advertisers. When you move too fast as a new advertiser, this alerts the Facebook system about your activities and makes it see you as a possible problem. And this happens when you do something like you create a business manager, you create an ad account, a fan page, and you begin to run ads all within 24 hours. Please don't do this. On Facebook, slowing down is a better option for new ad accounts. Slow makes the algorithm see you as a normal business who is not trying to manipulate or take advantage of the system. When you have a new advert account, take about 4 days to properly set it up. Also make sure you post some good content on your fan page within these 4 days as well. Then scaling too fast is another trigger. Scaling too fast is what happens when you are now running your ads already, but then you want to start to spend huge amounts of money very fast on Facebook. And this one affects new advertisers as well. When you begin to run your Facebook adverts, you shouldn't try to scale up too fast. Scaling up too fast is when you attempt to start using ad budgets that are high. Facebook doesn't trust advertisers who try to scale up too fast. You should scale up little by little. That makes the Facebook machine comfortable. An example is when you suddenly attempt to increase your daily advert budget from $20 a day to $400 a day. That type of sudden action triggers the Facebook system. But when you increase your ad budget from say $20 to $30 or $40, that looks like what a normal business will do. So the Facebook's algorithm doesn't get triggered. The next thing is not warming up your new advert account. And this again is another big mistake that a lot of new advertisers make. When your advert account on Facebook is new, you shouldn't rush into using it to run adverts immediately. Instead, what you want to do is you want to warm it up. To warm up your ad account, follow this 3-step procedure. Number 1, run what I call a likes campaign to a neutral Facebook page for about 3 to 5 days. Run a likes campaign to a neutral Facebook page for about 3 to 5 days. And your budget, if in Naira, should be between 500 to 2K per day, or in dollars, it should be between $2 to $25 per day. Once you are done with that, the next thing you want to do is that you want to run a post engagement or video views advert for another 3 to 5 days using the same recommended budget. Then once you've done that, now you can begin to run a conversion-based advert. But meanwhile, you will also still be running a likes campaign using smaller budgets so that your fan page is still getting likes while you are running your conversion-based objective. Now, you might want to come back to this video over and over to actually understand exactly what I'm saying in this video. Another reason why your advert account could get flagged and deactivated is the type of domain names you are using. If you are promoting a business opportunity program, for instance, you need to resist the urge to use a domain name like givemecash.com. The idea here is that you should avoid using domain names that have the words that Facebook hates. I'm talking about words like cash, money, weight loss, fat, sex. Then you should also avoid purchasing a blacklisted domain name. Another solid advice here is that you should stick with domain names that end with .com, .net, .org, .ng, .com.ng, or .org.ng for your Facebook adverts. And finally, you should be using the Facebook debugger app to check the status of your domain name. You can see the Facebook debugger by going to this link, developers.facebook.com/tools/debug. The tool is easy to use. Just put in your URL in there and then click on submit, and then it will give you feedback about your domain. Then there is the issue of the payment threshold. In case you are new to Facebook advertising, your payment threshold is how much advert Facebook allows you to run before they ask for their money. It's more like an ad credit. So usually, Facebook starts with a threshold of around $10 to $25 for new ad accounts and see if they can easily collect their money. You want to ensure that Facebook does not struggle to process their initial payments, or else it's going to affect the good standing of that account. Also, do not attempt to run adverts more than the threshold Facebook is giving you. So if Facebook gives you a threshold of $25, for instance, don't set up ad campaigns with a budget of $100 a day. It just smells of scam. This next reason is something that majority of Facebook advertisers don't even know. And it is the fact that Facebook pays attention to the quality of the fan page you are using to advertise. In case you are new to Facebook advertising, you can't run an advert on Facebook without a fan page. And in the past, advertisers will only set up a fan page and just begin to use it to run adverts without posting any content on it. Don't do this. When you have a fan page that has only one post on it, for instance, and you are attempting to advertise on Facebook, the algorithm sees you as a threat. Facebook also punishes advertisers with poor Facebook pages, with poor fan pages. When I say fan pages and Facebook pages, they are the same thing. Fan pages, Facebook pages, they are the same. So Facebook punishes advertisers with poor Facebook pages by giving them high advert costs. But it rewards advertisers who have good Facebook pages with cheaper ad costs. So if you have a Facebook page with content on it, with people liking those contents, you are going to pay lower amount of money for your adverts on Facebook. So my advice is that you should post a lot of good content on the Facebook page you intend to use to run your adverts. And you should also run some likes campaign to it, like I said before, to ensure that it keeps getting new likes, even if it is just $1 a day. You also want to check how Facebook sees your fan page. And you can do that by going to your Facebook page, then clicking on more, and then clicking on page quality. As you can see here, when I check the page quality for Expert Nail, Facebook tells me that our Facebook page has no restrictions or violations. The next reason that might cause your ad account to be shut down is the mass use of images or copy or landing pages. Sometimes a vendor might give affiliates sample images, sample landing pages, sample adverts to use for their promotions. But when Facebook detects that a lot of people are using the same images, the same copy, and the same landing pages to advertise, they suspect some form of network marketing which they don't like. So they begin to ban any account that attempts to use those same images, those same copy, and those same landing pages. This is the exact reason why this training teaches you how to develop your own marketing material so that you don't depend on the same marketing materials that are used by plenty other affiliates. Then there is a problem that comes with using multiple domain names in one advert account. Having multiple domain names in one advert account on Facebook is a no. What Facebook wants is that each advert account has to be linked to a single domain name. They don't want several domain names operating from one advert account. So let's say your advert account is TomTom Media. Facebook expects you to use that advert account to point to just one domain name, which means all your adverts should come from just one domain name inside that advert account. And when you begin to use several domain names under one advert account, the advert account begins to look shady and it might get shut down. Then you should always put links pointing to terms, privacy policy, and contact us in the footer section of the landing pages where you are sending people to from Facebook. On your landing page, make sure you add the links to the following on your website in the footer section. I'm talking about terms, contact, and privacy. You can get the information for your terms and conditions of privacy policy from Google. But what I have done for you is that I have created a template that you can also use. All you have to do is just edit the template, and you can download the template you can use for your terms and privacy policy in the Day 7 resources section. Another that might get Facebook to shut down your account is when you are getting plenty negative feedback. And this usually has to do with poor adverts and poor landing page experience. The Facebook system can track if your advert is bouncing people off or getting them to engage. And sometimes the Facebook algorithm tracks how long people stay on your website when they visit. If people only stay like 5 seconds on your website, the algorithm thinks it is because of a bad landing page experience. And if the ad is on Facebook, they check the ratio of people who click the advert itself versus people who actually clicked through to the landing page. They can also close your account because of this if the quality report of your ads based on their reports is too low. Then the IP and the profile challenge is a big one. At some point, Facebook might become tired of you. Maybe they've been disapproving your ads over and over, and then they might decide to ban your profile. At this point, anything with your name gets shut down even before you run any adverts. This could also happen with your IP address if it has been banned over and over. If your IP or Facebook profile is shut down, there is no need for you to whine and cry because that happens sometimes. But thank God there are ways to move past this challenge. That is what I will be explaining in video 3. Then linking back to a terminated account is another reason why a lot of people lose their Facebook accounts. Most of the time, Facebook is able to trace and link your new advert account to your old account that was terminated. And once this happens, your new account will be closed without any warning whatsoever. To make sure this doesn't happen whenever you are using a new account, the main thing you want to avoid is using the same debit card you were using with the ad account that was blocked. Instead, you should get a new card from the bank. You can report the current one as lost or stolen and then get a new card. Or you can just generate a virtual card from getbetter.co. Or you can just generate a virtual card from getbetter.co. And sometimes people think maybe they have to change their laptop or change their internet connection or change their IP address. From my experience, there is usually no need for you to change your laptop or your IP address. And finally, I have to let you know that even when you avoid all the reasons I have listed so far, Facebook might still shut down your account for unknown reasons. It happens to everyone. It happens to the best of the best. And that is why you shouldn't get attached to any Facebook account. If Facebook shuts down your account, then it's time for you to move on. As a matter of fact, it is time for you to launch what I call the Get My Ad Account Back protocol. And that is what the next video is all about. The next video is all about what you should do if Facebook shuts down your advert account. So you might still have to come back to this video once you are through with the entire Facebook training, because then you might really understand how important this video is. We can now continue to day 7, video 3.